Welcome back to the Boondocks Homestead. Oh, we're with the bread shed today. I had to swim to get over here, literally. It has rained since yesterday, I think, since yesterday evening for sure. And I heard it raining all night long. And it's just really just wet and kind of miserable outside. But today I come over here to the bread shed because we're getting ready to go to a dinner. I make it sound so formal. We're going to our oldest son's to eat, and he invited us out to eat some deer meat. And I told him I would bring something because I like to bring something, or wherever I'm going to eat or whatever. And so I kind of let him choose. So first he said English muffins, but I don't think I really have enough time, and the way the weather is, I'm not sure how they would do my sourdough English muffins. So I'm gonna just make some hot rolls and see how they do. We're gonna hope they do okay, just regular hot rolls, dinner rolls, whatever you want to call them, and some mashed potatoes, homemade mashed potatoes, and some, which I haven't told him yet, but I was going to make a blueberry cream cheese pie, which I'm going to do for a video. But Tim called me a while ago and he said, bananas aren't looking too hot. You better do something with them. So we're going to make some banana pudding. And I'm not going to go through that because I have a video on that one. For you first timers, I know a lot of people know how, my age probably, but and maybe a little younger. I'm talking about these new ladies out here that just got married or didn't do much cooking while they was at home or whatever. Yeah, I didn't. Tim and I got married at 15 and 18, and we moved right out of our parents' house, and I knew nothing about cooking, nothing. I was the last girl at home out of 4 girls, and my mama didn't make me do much. I was kind of spoiled, and I'm not saying that because I'm proud of it either. But she just didn't make me do much. But then the older I got, the more I wanted to learn. I wanted to know. So then after you have kids, you want to know too. And then grandkids, you really want to know. And then them great grandkids, when they get here, Lord willing, then you just want to, that's how you make people happy. That's how I make people happy. I like to cook for them. It's just something I like to do. There's a ladybug in here flying around, or an Asian beetle, or whatever you want to call them. I don't like them. Anyway, so I was going to cut some potatoes, and I thought, well, maybe I'll just or make some mashed potatoes. I'm getting ready to peel them. I thought, well, I'll just bring you along with me for a minute, and we'll just talk a little bit, and I'll get these potatoes peeled, and we'll boil them. And then I'll show you how I fix my mashed potatoes. And again, it's like anything else I cook, y'all. It's different sometimes, and it doesn't always have the same stuff in it. It always depends on what I have on the shelf or what I have in the refrigerator, or, I use what I got, and that's what I teach you guys. You use what you got. You don't make a special trip to the store unless you just absolutely have to. And I have never really come across a situation where I absolutely had to. These are growing little sprouts. I got these on sale. Look, I just went right, did a 180 here. Got these on sale at, I think I got these at Rural King. I'm not sure where I got them. $2.99 for these 10 pounds. I think this 10-pound bag. Oh, it don't say. I think that's a 10-pound bag. Anyways, $2.99. It don't even matter. Maybe it's 5 pounds. No, it feels more like 10 pounds. Or it does on this bad shoulder anyway. Now it's got to say, oh, it's 8 pounds. Who would have thought? Okay, it's 8 pounds of potatoes, but for $2.99, who cares? Anyway, I bought a couple of bags, and it's like, I got it. My intentions, you all, were to buy them up and to make French fries and can them. I'm going to have to do that for you. I'm going to have to do that video for you. I make French fries, and I can them, and then you just take them out of the can, and you dry them off, and because they're wet, they're in water. You dry them off, and you fry them, and they're better than any French fry out of any restaurant you'll ever eat. Ever. And they don't even compare to the bagged ones. They're really good. Grandkids love them with my homemade ketchup. So, anyways, I bought these up and I thought I was going to get them used, but I'm struggling. So I was kind of glad he wanted some mashed potatoes. I was kind of leery of it though because I'm going to get on the bus here in a little while, and so these are going to have to go in the fridge. So then we're going to have to warm them up, which, okay, they're still homemade, but I just like them better really hot, like just made. But it'll be okay. It'll be all right. We'll have the hot rolls. Probably have to warm them up too. And because this is through the week, and we don't normally go nowhere and do nothing through the week, but he's got a crazy schedule, so that's just what we have to do. Hold on, my tea. I got to put my tea bag in my water because I really need something to drink. I don't drink a lot of tea, but when I want it, when I get a thirst for it, I just kind of want it. So I'm making some. I remember when I'm going to tell you a story here. When I first got married, I remember sitting at the kitchen. Well, when Tim and I got married, let me just back up a little bit and I'll just tell you a little bit of the story. Let me get a drink of water. Hold on. I'm just so thirsty here since I've had that cough and all that whatever I had. Anyway, I'm feeling lots better. And I thank God for it. And I've been taking that, honey and garlic in my mullein tea. I've been taking that faithfully. So I think it helped. Anyway, so Tim and I got married. My mom was going to move. If I already told this story, then just, walk out of the room or do something else while I'm telling, whatever you want to do. But I do have a tendency of telling stories over. I can't help it. I think it comes with age. Anyway, so we got married. My mom and dad were moving back north to take care of my grandma and grandpa. Anyway, I didn't want to leave Tim. We had been dating 3 months, and I just didn't want to leave him. And so he asked me to marry him, and I'm not going to go through everything because it'd be a long, drawn-out thing, and someday maybe I will. But so we went ahead and got married. We had to have our parents sign. I know today that will be illegal, and people would think it was gross, but I'm kind of, I don't know. I lean toward a younger marriage. I mean, that's the way they always did it back in the day. And then you grow together, but you take a 30 or a 40-year-old man and a 40-year-old woman and put them together and see what you get. It would be hard. It's hard because they're done set in their ways. That's all I'm saying about that. I'm not saying it can't happen. And I don't know how long it would last. I don't know. But I'm just saying that I would prefer, if I had to do over again, I wouldn't have wanted to do it any different. That's what I'm trying to say. But so we got married, and my mom and dad moved. My nose is itching. My mom and dad moved, and then we moved in. His mom and dad bought my mom and dad's house. They had a big auction, and in like a day, they sold the house and everything in it. It was crazy. And then his mom and dad bought the house. They moved in there. Then we moved back in with his mom and dad. I keep flinging those potato peelings everywhere. And then Tim always said, if you tied my hands, I wouldn't be able to talk. And then we moved in with them. So I lived in that house with my mom and dad, and then I lived in it with Tim's mom and dad. So we lived there for a while, and then he went into the military, and then I kind of swapped between the two. Went with my mom for a little bit, his mom for a little bit, and then I just couldn't stand it, and I ended up moving to South Carolina to be with him while he was in basic and AIT. So, and lived with some lady I didn't even know, but it worked out. Everything worked out. But so anyways, we got married, and I did not know how to cook. That's where I was going with this. So I was living in that same house with his mom and dad. And his mom set me at the table with a bowl of potatoes with the peel on. And she told me that she wanted me to cut the potatoes for dinner or peel the potatoes for dinner. And I looked at her and I was like, okay, never done that. Never done that my whole entire life. And so I started peeling the potatoes. It took me, I bet it took me close to an hour and a half or better. Sure did. And I probably, out of a potato like this, that's got a bad spot, I got to get out of there. Out of a potato like this, I probably had about that much left by the time I was done. I really did. But she laughed and laughed and laughed at me. She thought that was so funny. But I just was never taught, I just didn't have any interest in that when I lived at home, and my mom never made me do it, and I just didn't know anything. When I made Tim's first, I remember making him some fried chicken. We hadn't been married very long, and he's like, I really could use some fried chicken. I said, okay. I went to the store and I bought some. And, well, this potato is pretty much done in. Maybe that's why they were on sale. There we go. That's enough. So I fried him some chicken. I battered it. I did what I called my mom, I'm like, hey, I gotta make Tim some, and I want it to be really good. This is gonna be a really good meal, blah, blah, blah. And so I battered it, put in egg, and then I put in flour, and I battered it. And then I put it in some hot grease on high, and I fried it up. It was a pretty golden brown on the outside, on both sides. Got it out of the skillet. It was done, right? And Tim come home, he bit into it, and I thought he was going to have a stroke. Yeah, I won't even explain to you what come out of that, but it wasn't right. And so I was like, oh boy. So that kind of bummed me out. And I would have different, things like that would bum me out, if I'd try to fix it and I thought I was doing so good and then it just would fail. So you youngins out there that's just starting to cook and stuff, don't you let it get you. Don't you let it get the best of you. You just persevere and you keep on going and you keep on trying and you'll get it. I remember it took me probably 2.5 years to learn how to make milk gravy. And I did that when Tim was in the military. We'd only been married, I guess, probably a couple of years. And I was like, oh, I just got to learn how to make this because Tim likes it so much. And we're probably 9 hours from home. And so it wasn't like, he could just go home to mom or grandma or whoever and get what he wanted. He just couldn't do it. So I had to learn how to do this stuff. When I got on my sourdough journey, yeah, I did. I set it down one time. I set it down right after I started. I thought, I can't do this. There's no way. And then I was like, no, I'm doing it. Yes, I'm going to do it. We ain't going to have none of that. We're doing it. And I did it, and I do it. Anyway, a couple of stories that just struck me, come back to my memory. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and wash these off, and then I'm going to chunk them up, and I'm going to put them in this pot, and then I'm going to boil them until they're just almost tender. And then I'll strain them, and I will put them in my stand-up mixer, and we're going to fix them when I come back. I'm already to 22 minutes. See, I get to talk in 23 minutes. I get to talking, and that's what happens. And then, we have this long video, and nobody has time to watch it. So that's the way it goes sometimes. Anyway, story of my life, right? So let me get this going, and then I'll bring you back here in just a minute. Don't go nowhere. All right, y'all. I've got the potatoes. They're really hot. So I wanted to get on this because I like to get it while they're really steaming hot. Now I'm going to start, with 1 stick of butter because I had quite a few potatoes there. So I'm going to put 1 stick of butter in there. I'm going to put this in now you can do this with a hand mixer. You can do this with a potato masher. You can do this, whatever you have, you use, okay? I used to just have a potato masher, and that's what I had to use. Give you some muscles, too, while you're doing it. Why won't that go on? Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and mix that up a little bit. I'm going to grab my salt and my pepper. Okay, we're going to need another one, another butter, okay? Because that's not enough butter for me. I'm putting another butter in there. That should do it. Now what I do is I'll sit and I'll get that until it's just before I add any milk or anything. Okay, and I want to see what consistency I have with those potatoes. That down in there like that. That's probably not the safest thing to do. If it grabs my thing, it might hurt me, but I want to get that down in there. I don't normally do this. This is my bread mixer. This is what I do my bread in. Okay. Now I'm going to put some salt. Now this is to taste, okay? This is sitting in the window, so it's kind of... You're going to salt to taste. I don't want to get too much at first. Pepper. Same way with pepper. I like quite a bit of pepper. Now, this is what I put in mine a lot of times. Not always, because I don't always have it. But when I do, this is what I use. Get a spoon. Use me a little sour cream. Now, if you don't like sour cream, don't use this, okay? You'll just use milk instead of the sour cream. But I like sour cream in mine. And you don't really taste the sour cream, I don't think. I mean, I don't. Mix that up in there. And you want to mix that good because that's going to determine how much milk if you use sour cream. Okay? So if you're using sour cream, you'll need to get that all mixed up in there good so you'll know how much milk to use. Now, I don't like thick potatoes and I don't like runny potatoes, y'all. I like just a creamy potato. So I just do a little at a time. And I'm thinking that right there may do it. And they are going to thicken up a little bit after you... I'm just going to taste them real quick. See what consistency. They're that consistency. They're not falling off my spoon, but I can shake them off. They're not like that thick. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, it needs more salt. They need more salt. And I'm going to put a little bit, I'm going to put some more sour cream in mine. If you don't use sour cream, put a little more milk. So I'd say, it's hard to say how much I use, y'all, because I don't remember how many potatoes. Let me get me another fork or another spoon. I don't remember how many potatoes I used to tell you how many, this other stuff. Right there. That's it, I think. A little more milk. Get a little more milk going here. All right, let's test this. I think that's pretty perfect. That's what I'm going to say. Maybe a little more pepper. A little more salt. Let's do it a little longer. Okay, I look a mess, you guys. I've been out in that rain, back and forth, back and forth. Been in it since 5 o'clock this morning. Okay. Now, I made quite a few potatoes, and I'll tell you why. I got 2 grandkids that I know of, and he may invite the other 2 over. I don't know, the older ones. And then we got mom and dad, and then we got Tim and I. So I hope I made enough, actually. And I don't remember. You can look back on the video and see how many potatoes I had, and I probably put a total of maybe a cup of sour cream, and then maybe a cup of milk. Maybe not quite a cup, but maybe. You guys got the consistency. That's what you're looking for. You don't want runny, but you don't want thick either. You know what I'm saying? You just want a creamy potato. And then I just added salt and pepper to taste. All right. Now, if you don't want sour cream, if you don't like sour cream, don't use sour cream. You don't have to. I just like the taste it gives better. Sometimes I'll even put some parsley on it and make it kind of pretty. Okay, I think I got it all out of there. Now, I normally, you can put these in a really pretty bowl. I need a lid, so that's what I did. I just got one of those with a lid. Now, I'll probably just cut some of this up. Where's my... Oh, where is my knife? I just cut some of this. I don't know what that was. Probably pepper off my finger. Put this on top. I'll get a little bit of... Let me grab some... Now I got to clean up my kitchen. That's the worst thing of cooking. That I love to cook, but I'm telling you what, the cleanup I don't like. But it comes with it. Comes with the territory. Okay. Then I'll put a little bit of this. And sometimes I even put a little bit of garlic salt on it or in it. This is just parsley. It's just to make it pretty. I'm going to show you a picture of it. Here's your mashed potatoes. Aren't those pretty? I think they're going to like them. All right. I think I got all that done. I got the, we'll let that cool off on the counter, and then I'll put it in the refrigerator because I got to get on the bus and stuff before we go. And then when Tim gets home, we'll go feed our animals, and then we'll run out there. I got the banana pudding done. All this just took me I don't know, I've been doing it for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Now I'll show you what I got next. Here's my dinner roll dough, and I'm about ready to punch it down. Then I'll make my rolls, put them in a thing, and then they'll be ready to rise again and then cook. And that's what I'm taking. That's what they're getting from Nana and Mom today. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up the rest of this, and I might be able to sit down and take me a little cat nap before I have to go get on the bus. I've got some water or something all over. Who knows what that is? My glasses. So, all right. Well, y'all have a blessed evening and week, and Lord willing, I'll catch you on the next video. All right. Bye.